This is the Sophia and William propane gas grill and griddle combo, and it immediately solves a common backyard headache. I can sear steaks and fry eggs at the same time without juggling 2 cookers or 2 propane tanks. I'd put this squarely in the family backyard category rather than camping or tailgating. It's a full-cart grill with a dedicated griddle on one side and traditional grates on the other. If you cook for a crowd on weekends, want breakfast flexibility, or need a single station that can handle everything from pancakes to ribeyes, this fits. If you live on a tiny balcony or move your cooker around often, the size and weight will push you towards something smaller. What matters about the design is the split personality. The grill side has porcelain-enameled cast iron grates that hold heat and give reliable sear marks. The griddle is solid cast iron, so it behaves like a diner flat top once it's seasoned. Each side has its own burners and its own grease path. On the griddle, I get a drawer-style grease box that actually catches what I'm scraping. And on the grill side, I get a pull-out tray with a cup underneath. The lid is simple but effective as a windbreak, and the handle stays safe to grab even after a long cook. The cart has shelves sturdy enough for platters and a tool holder that keeps tongs within reach. The casters lock, so it doesn't skate while I scrub. Assembly is the first checkpoint for me with any cart-style grill. This is a 2-person job because the cast iron pieces are heavy and the chassis is wide. I laid out the panels, sorted the hardware, and took my time. Expect around an hour and a half if you've put flat-pack grills together before, closer to 2 if you haven't. The griddle drops in with a reassuring heft. The hose and regulator are included, and the propane tank position is straightforward. I did a standard soapy water leak check at the connections, then a full burn-off to cure any factory residue before seasoning the griddle with a few thin coats of high smoke point oil. Power is there when it counts. The total output is substantial and split between the 2 zones, so the grill can run hot for searing while the griddle sits at a moderate temp for pancakes or smash burgers. From a cold start, the grill side reaches steak-ready temps in around 10 minutes on a mild day. The griddle takes a similar window to settle in around that 400 to 450 degrees Fahrenheit sweet spot where pancakes bubble properly and onions soften without scorching. Once the cast iron is saturated with heat, recovery is quick, even when I drop a full pound of cold protein onto the surface. Control-wise, the 5 burners make a real difference. I can run a 2-burner pattern under the griddle for even coverage and keep 1 burner lower to create a cooler edge for resting food. On the grill side, I like running outer burners a touch higher and the center lower for a hot perimeter and a kinder zone for chicken. The knobs have a smooth sweep and the igniters have been reliable. I've yet to resort to a lighter, even on a breezy afternoon. Heat distribution is what you'd expect from cast iron and open flame. The griddle's center lanes sit hotter directly above the burners. It's not a problem once you learn the map. I sear on the center and slide to the edges to hold. The grill side gives consistent sear marks and good vaporization, though crosswinds can change the character of the flames if you cook with the lid up for long stretches. The lid thermometer is fine for trends, but for steak, I still use a probe. The point is, this setup rewards a little attention and rewards it with predictable results. My first full run was a breakfast spread. I preheated both sides, then dropped bacon on the griddle and let the grill side toast bread and warm breakfast sausages with the lid down. The bacon curled and crisped without flare-ups because the grease ran right into the drawer. When I flipped to pancakes, the griddle's retained heat kept the bubbles consistent, and the first batch didn't suffer from that usual pale side problem you get on thin steel. I slid cooked pancakes to the cooler edge and used the center lane for hash browns. Cleanup afterward was scrape, wipe, a light oil coat, and a quick rinse of the grease drawer once it cooled. It took less effort than I expected for a pile of breakfast food. Dinner runs show the versatility. Burger night, I ran the griddle for onions and mushrooms while the grill side handled half a dozen patties. With the grates hot, I got the sear in a minute per side, moved them to indirect heat, and finished to temp under the lid. The griddle gave me the diner-style browning on the onions that a basket over open flame rarely nails. Fat from the burgers collected in the tray instead of torching under the burners, though I did keep an eye on the cup. On a fatty cook, it fills faster than you expect, so I check it midway to avoid surprises. Steak and asparagus made me appreciate the power ceiling. With the grill side roaring, I laid down 2 ribeyes and got a solid crust without overcooking the interior. While those rested, the griddle knocked out blistered asparagus with a little olive oil and lemon. I've also used the griddle as a staging area for tortillas while chicken thighs finish on the grill, which turns taco night into an easy assembly line. If you like hibachi-style shrimp and fried rice, it's in this grill's wheelhouse. Smash burgers at backyard speed are a layup. The cast iron spreads that sizzle across the puck, and you can keep batches moving while you toast buns on the grate. A few smart touches stand out. The split grease design is actually thoughtful. It keeps the messes separate and makes cleanup more predictable. Lining the pull-out tray with foil saves time, and the drawer on the griddle side slides smoothly even when it's warm. The included regulator means I wasn't hunting for fittings. The tool holder sounds minor, but not having tongs slide off a side shelf halfway through a cook is one of those small quality-of-life wins. And the heat-resistant handle is meaningful when you're juggling food and don't want to hunt down a mitt just to lift the lid. There are quirks. The griddle will have hot lanes until you learn its pattern. That's normal for cast iron, but it means you'll rotate food, especially delicate items like fish. The lid thermometer isn't a precision instrument. It's an indicator, not a target. The grease cup on the grill side can fill quickly during a marathon bacon or burger session, so I either use a foil liner or pause and empty. The cart is sturdy enough while cooking, but at 121 pounds, it's not something you'll want to haul across grass often. The casters are fine on patios and pavers. On gravel, not so much. And like any steel grill with cast iron, a cover matters. If you leave it out in the rain or skip the light oil coat on the griddle after cleaning, rust will show up sooner than you'd like. What I appreciate most is that it invites a rhythm. Preheat both sides, start the components that take longer on the griddle, sear on the grate, finish under the lid, stage on the cooler zones, and keep the line moving. That's how I fed a mix of kids and adults without stressing. It's the closest I've felt to having an outdoor station that can flex with the menu. I don't have to choose between smoke-kissed grill flavor and the control of a flat top. I get both on one cart, and I can adapt burner by burner. If you're deciding where this fits, think about your routine. If you cook for 4 to 8 people regularly, want weekend breakfast outside, and you're okay with basic maintenance, seasoning the griddle, emptying the trays, keeping it covered, this setup earns its footprint. It's the kind of grill I roll out when friends come over because it keeps me flexible and fast. If you need something you can throw in a trunk, this isn't it. If you want set and forget smoking, you'll still want a smoker. But if your goal is reliable backyard grilling with the added bonus of hibachi-style control, this combination nails it more often than not. I will post full information about the Sophia and William propane gas grill and griddle combo in the comments section. See you in the following videos.